Hello, dear reader. It's time for Kate's notes on We Used to Live Here. Let's take a minute to see what I said when I judged this book by its cover before we get into it, because this one is a doozy. It's maybe like a Hallmark movie vibe. Big city girl moves back small town to sell her grandmother's house, becomes intrigued by all the stories of all the people who have lived there, and in the process falls in love with a charming handyman slash realtor slash town mayor. And they fall in love and get married and decide to live there. But the twist is that it's also haunted. So there's a charming family of ghosts and they decide to adopt them and they live happily ever after. This is most certainly not a Hallmark-esque story. But there is a sort of adoption into a family at the very end, so I was right about that. Let me say this. This was not a ghost story. This was a crazy pants story. Absolutely bonkers. Insane. But I loved every minute of it, so let's really get into what is going on here. So this book follows Eve and her girlfriend Charlie and their dog Shiloh as they plan to flip this house in the Oregon wilderness, which is already a little bizarre because they have previously been East Coast people flipping houses over there where they were born and bred. And as an East Coast person myself, I can tell you it would take a lot to get me on the West Coast. And the book jacket says that they are here because it's an amazing deal in a picturesque neighborhood. Excuse me, Eve is creeped out right from the start. They are not in a neighborhood. They are in the wilderness. There's like a scattering of neighbors, not in a neighborhood where you can throw a rock and hit a house. A scattering of neighbors, and there's a bridge that gets shut down at the hint of snow flurries. So, no, this is not what we would call a picturesque neighborhood. That Zillow listing was reaching. So Eve is home alone in the middle of an impending snowstorm. So we already have a prevailing sense of doom in the atmosphere. When this family comes knocking at her door, again, we're not in a suburban neighborhood, so this is already strange. And it's a family of 5, and the dad, Thomas, says, "Oh, I used to live here. Just want to show the family the old place." In the evening, when it's about to come down with the snow and the ice and cut them off from society, very weird, very strange, very sus. But Eve, being non-confrontational, relatable, allows them to come in for a quick tour, 15 minutes tops. As you guessed, the family stays there longer than 15 minutes, thanks to their youngest daughter going missing in the creepy basement for a short period of time, but just enough time to shut down the bridge because of the weather and to keep them stranded in the house overnight. Now, Charlie, Eve's girlfriend, does reappear. So she does have somebody on her side at least. And over the next 12 hours or so, Thomas spins a yarn about growing up in that house with his sister Allison. Oh, poor Allison just mentally was not well because she suddenly started believing that her family was not her real family and that they were all imposters. And she kind of went crazy. So that story is going to influence the next 24 to 48 hours. So the book is through Eve's point of view, but it is interspersed with documents like internet forums and emails and the Zillow listing and police reports and files of conspiracies about this place called Old House. And that is the drawback of this book. I need more. I need more of Old House lore. Somebody call up Robert Jordan on the Ouija board because we have got to do some world building here. That is what I want from this book. I want a whole complex series of 10 to 12 books about all of this that is going on. Because it is a whole lot that is implied in this novel. I mean, truly, the biggest question of all that we all have is why? Why are any of us here? But also, why? Really? Okay? There's a lot that we can delve into. Seriously, I need this to be my next wheel of time. I need that in my life. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. You have to go read this book as long as you like spooky. Okay, it is a little scary, so if you're spooked easily, don't read it. But if you love to live on the edge a little bit, then yes, dive into it and come discuss it with me immediately because it's just spinning through my head right now. Anyway, so that's it. That's all for my latest library haul, all the books I judged and have subsequently read. And tune in next time after I go scour the library shelves for some more good reads, and we'll see what happens. Anyway, that's all. Bye!